Greetings, fellow Earth beings. I'm at a truck stop and I was just inside getting some coffee, which I'm going to try to stop drinking coffee soon. I have one of my best friends. She suggested I start using, I think it's called maca powder and turmeric. So I'm going to get into that. But what I wanted to talk about is, the reason I mentioned the coffee is, people say wake up and smell the coffee. And then it's like one of the cliches about the concept of waking up. And I want to address this message to people who consider themselves awake or in the process of awakening. And basically what the message is don't stop waiting on the crowd to catch up with you. Don't get stuck. Continue pushing your own self, your own knowledge, your own awareness forward, because I've seen the tendency. I've had to fight the tendency or release the tendency in myself, and I see it in others. It's like I probably could have called myself a conspiracy theorist, since I was a little kid, basically. Because the religion that I grew up with was already kind of like talking about New World Order and stuff, when I was a little boy. So, and then, as I became an adult, I started reading, books like Illuminati 666 and Behold the Pale Horse and all that kind of stuff. So, and then when 9/11 happened, of course, right away I was like, oh, the U.S. did it, this kind of thing. But the thing is, and at the same time, I was learning about the power of thought and, the power of expectation. And I've been focusing on that more. And learning is infinite. There's knowledge is infinite. There's no end to what you can know, and how much you can know about yourself and how much you can know about others and about ultimate reality and these things. And it's tempting to get stuck. It's tempting to get stuck on things when you get excited, you see the world is starting to see things that the way I saw them 20, 10 or 5 years ago. Maybe you realize some certain things just 5 or even last year, you realize a lot of stuff you were taught in school was not true, or there's so many things. It's just history, a big one is Columbus discovered America. For example, it's a big lie that most people know is a lie. But what I'm saying is, don't get stuck on these things. I know you're you used to feel alone and feel oh man, I wish I had somebody to talk to about this stuff, and you get excited now because you're online and you see people start to find out about this stuff, and then you still get frustrated with the ones that seem to not want to see it. What? You mean you still don't know that 9/11 was an inside job? And what, you're but the thing is, you can't wait for everybody to catch up. You got to keep moving, because, especially when you start to understand that, really understand how much your thoughts and your emotions and your focus create the reality around you. When you really start to understand that, you're actually slowing down progression. When you wait for people to realize that you were if you want to say I told you so, you're waiting the election is rigged, I told you so, you're waiting for everybody to find out. But you're actually, when you keep saying these things, even though there may be some truth to them, there was only truth to them, or is only truth to them as long as enough people hold it as truth. Right? So, if you really want another reality, then it's kind of what do you call it? I can't find the word I'm looking for, but it's not helpful to try and prove the reality that you found out yesterday, just because you found it out before most of your friends or family. It's not going to help you to try to prove that to them if they still haven't accepted it. It's kind of good if they haven't accepted it. You can release it, and then you can all create a new reality together. You want to prove I'm brown skin or whatever, like it could be possible for me to prove like, oh, now people are realizing that, like I had it, like I was more likely to get stopped by police when I was a kid, when I was younger and stuff, driving or whatever. And now people are starting to realize, oh, the cops aren't so nice to black people. And I'm like, yeah, see, but nah, I mean, actually there are some cops that are nice to me. Like, I mean, most of them are, like, and it's based on my attraction points has changed. It's not so much about who you are or where you're from or what situation, and it's about what you think. So, I mean, if you really care about, like, progression, don't get so caught up in, like, wanting the crowd to catch up with you. Keep pushing forward. Keep expanding your ideas. Let old stuff go, You can let it go. You don't have to wait for everybody to accept what you feel like you found out yesterday. You can find out what, you can create tomorrow. I mean, that's what you've been about this whole time, is trying to move things forward. So don't get stuck now waiting for the crowd. It's like if you're running a race, you kind of set the pace. If you're in front, you're kind of setting the pace. If you slow down and wait for like the whole pack to catch up, they're going to slow down too. So it's not really helping things, you know what I mean? But that's the thought I had. Let stuff go, man. Let it go. Push forward. That's how you'll be helping the world and yourself. Peace.